brown coal has gone from this, really rock solid, dependable foundation point of Victoria's electricity system to being its greatest threat to reliability. So my name's Andrew Bray. I'm the National Director with Renewable Energy Alliance. I've been running the organisation since its inception in 2013. These days, we've worked with communities across a number of different rural and regional areas to help them get the most out of the shift to clean energy. Baseload power is something that's sort of often misused and perhaps a bit misunderstood. And there's no sort of magic to what it is. It's just kind of the way our power system developed. The story in Victoria is very much one of the Latrobe Valley. That's where the coal deposits were. And so the government, it's worth remembering, this was all government investment, started up a whole project to use that coal to generate electricity. And so power lines were built from the Latrobe Valley to the load centres in Melbourne. And essentially coal-fired power stations, they've been really valuable for Victoria and Australia for many years because they've had a fairly reliable source of power. But they've always been inflexible. So what that means is that they haven't really been able to turn up and down, particularly the ones that are coming to the end of their life now. They're old units. Yallourn itself, I think a bit over 40 years old. Hazelwood closed in 2015 or 16. It was around 50 years old. So these are quite old plants. They weren't really able to turn up and down. So that meant that you had to build them, and being a government project, it was overbuilt. So there was much more coal capacity and generation capacity than was needed because they had to be able to generate enough to supply maximum demand. And maximum demand only happens for like a handful of days every year in either the hottest or the coldest temperatures. And so it meant every night, huge amounts of electricity were just wasted. Huge amounts of coal were burnt. That power had nowhere to go because there was no demand. So it was just wasted and sent up as heat in the Latrobe Valley. So baseload has always had that drawback. It was very inefficient, but it meant that when the peak demand was there, you knew you had that power. But as these plants have gotten older, it's meant that they've started to break down, as any old machine does, to the point where Yallourn last year, it experienced outages a third of the time. So brown coal has gone from this, really rock solid, dependable foundation point of Victoria's electricity system to being its greatest threat to reliability. And it's simply because we just haven't gotten around to actually building replacements for these as they've been getting older.